Welcome to Kings and Queens Accounting class. In this session, we'll be looking at a past paper question, 2015. Join me now. Question 1. The main purpose of preparing financial statements is to, and our answer is B, make informed financial decisions. Question 3. A non-trading organization is mainly concerned with, and our answer is C, providing various services for its members. Question 3. Which of the following states the correct order of the stages in the accounting cycle before financial accounts? And our answer is D. We journalize, then we post to the ledger, then to the child balance, and then we would have taken it to the final accounts. Question 4. The balance on an accounts payable account is entered in the balance sheet under the heading, and our answer is D, current liability. Accounts payable is a current liability. Question 5. Question 5 says, a business receives $5,000 for rent and deposits that amount into its bank account. How will this transaction be recorded? Well, firstly, we're looking at the stem of the transaction. What took place? The business received what now? $5,000 for rent and deposit this amount into its bank account. First of all, the money being deposited in the bank account means the bank account is receiving. Accounts that receives are debited. So, A is the most appropriate answer. We debit the bank and we credit the rent account. Question 6 says, the question is, what is the amount of the total fixed asset? Yes, and it is arising from this balance sheet. So we identify the fixed assets and then we do the total. What are the fixed assets in this balance sheet? Land and building for $9,000, motor van for $5,000, fixtures and fitting for $600. And those three items totals will be added, or figures will be added to give us a total. Okay? So, the answer upon adding all three is $14,600. Let's go to question 7. Question 7 says, what is the amount for total current assets? What are we going to do? Go back to the balance sheet, identify the current assets. The inventory of $450, the debtors figure for $250, the bank for $2,000, and the cash in hand for $300. And all four items will be added together, and our total should sum up to B, which B is $3,000. So the answer for question 7 is B, $3,000. Let's go to question 8. Question 8 says, which of the following list of current asset is arranged in order of liquidity? Our answer is C. Order of liquidity means the asset that is easiest to be translated into cash or to be spent and comes first. Therefore, cash is, and then bank, then prepayment, accounts receivable, and of course, we have inventory. So those are the order in the liquidity in this question. Question 9. Question 9 says, a trader receives an invoice for $4,000 rather, less 25% trade discount. Subsequently, he returned 1/8 of the goods. What amount would be entered in his return outward account? Okay, so we will find 25% of the trade discount, 25% of the 4,000, and this is how it is done. 25% of the $4,000, and we get $1,000. We subtract the $1,000 because that is the amount that was discounted. We subtract the $1,000 from the 4,000, which is the cost of the good or the product that will be sold, and so $3,000 is what would have been expected to be paid. But he returned 1/8 of the goods, so we find 1/8 of the $3,000, and we will end up with $375. So how much would be in the return outward? $375 based on the question. So the answer is A. Now we come to question 10. Which of the following would not appear in the cash book? Which of the following would not appear in the cash book? Our answer is D. Credit transaction does not appear in the cash book. Why? Because the cash book records only cash and check transactions. So D, goods sold on credit will not appear in the cash book. Question 11, we move to question 11, says, a businessman offers a discount for prompt payment for goods purchased. Under which column in his 3-column cash book would this be entered? All right, well, the answer is discount allowed, that is C. All right, question 12. Credit note issued for goods returned by a customer will be entered firstly in the, and our answer is, that's question 12, our answer is A, return inward. Credit note is associated with what? Return inwards. Okay, that's question 12. Question 13. Question 13 says, an article is subject to 20% discount. Its list price is $600. Yes, what is the sale price? Let me show you how we would work it. So the list price is $600. 20% is the trade discount, so we find 20% of the 600, which is 120. And so we subtract the 120 from the $600 and we get 480. So our answer is B. Our answer is B. B, 480. Question 14. The total credit of a bank column of a 3-column cash book is greater than the total debit. The most likely reason for this situation is that our answer is A. There is an overdraft. So once the credit side of the bank account is more than the debit side of the bank account, then there is an overdraft. All right? So the answer is A. Let's go to question 15. Question 15 says, money spent by a company on the purchase or improvement of a fixed asset is referred to as, and our answer is C, capital expenditure. Let's go to question 16. Which of the following best describes a double entry of accounting? Double entry of accounting, and our answer is D. Sorry. Each transaction must have a debit entry and a credit entry. So D is the correct answer. Question 17 says, a businessman incurred the following expenses, and they have listed them: factory repairs, machinery repairs, new machine, new vehicle. What is the total capital expenditure. All right. Now, when you look at these items, the capital expenditure is going to be related to the new assets that are bought. So it would be it will be new machine and new vehicle. When you add the total of new machine and new vehicle, we get $10,000. See, D is the correct answer, $10,000. Let's go to question 18. Question 18 says, Mr. Abel and Mr. Blue purchased goods on credit from Mr. Crane, valued at $50 and $75 respectively. Another customer paid cash for goods amounting to here $550. Mr. Crane took goods at cost for himself amounting to $500. Which of the following figures represents the total of Mr. Crane's sales account? Well, as we examine this question, we're going to see sales, credit sales, and cash sales are added together to give us our total sales. All right, so let's go. In the first instance, it says that Abel and Blue, they were sold goods on credit. So 50 plus the 75 is 125. That is the credit sales. That's the credit sales. And another customer paid cash for goods amounting to 550. So the 550 is the cash sales. So we add the 550 with the 125 to give the total sales. And the answer is 675. All right, so the answer is 675. Let's go to the next question. A proprietor wins a motor vehicle valued at $10,000 and decides to put it into the business. Which of the following entries should be recorded? Let us go again. A proprietor wins a motor vehicle valued at $10,000 and decides to put it into the business. All right, so once he's going to put this fixed asset into the business, then it's going to become a part of his capital. All right, so capital account will be credited. So let's look what we're going to do, and the answer is C. Answer is C. We're going to debit the motor vehicle and credit the capital account. So C is the most appropriate answer. Let's go to question 20. Question 20 says, the trial balance is prepared by using the balances from the, and our answer is A, the ledger. Question 21. Question 21 is asking us to, it says, Jake Han, a debtor of A and B Enterprise, settles his debt of $120 less 2.5% discount by check. How should the double entry be recorded in the books of A and B Enterprise? Now let's look at the transaction for a moment. One more time. This is the original stem of the transaction. K-Con, a debtor, yes, settles his account. That means he's going to be paying A and B Enterprise. K-Con is a debtor. He's now paying. That means A and B Enterprise is receiving the money via check. So the bank will be debited, right? The bank will be debited. And let's look what you have here now. Okay, so the answer is C. We debit the bank, and we're going to debit as well the discounted amount of $3, and we're going to credit K-Con, who is paying a total, the cost of the goods would have been $120. All right, let's now move to question 22. The following information has been extracted from Jack's books. All right, that is opening stock, purchases, sales, closing stock. What this information looks like now. Information for the trading profit and loss account or the income statement, yes? So, what are they asking us? What is the amount of the cost of sale? That word, that statement, cost of sale, is the same thing as cost of goods sold. So how would we find that? We're going to add the opening stock. Yes. Add the opening stock plus the purchases, subtracting the closing stock, and our answer should be 6,110. So now we're now at item 23, which refers to the following information. A calculation to determine gross profit percentage as follows. We're given that worked out, and they ask us, what does the 5,290,800 represent? And that would be our answer is our total sales. Well, let's look at it again. We're looking at the cost that will determine our gross profit percentage is as follows. Right, so that would be our cost, our total sales, right? So sales over gross profit times 100 will give us the gross profit margin, or sales gross profit to sales margin. So that would be C. The answer is C. Yes, total sales. Let's go to question 24. And to do question 24, we must pay attention to this information. Item 24 refers to the following data, which are taken from the records of a hardware store at the end of its fiscal year. And they have given us this. Okay, our question is, what is the gross profit of the hardware store? Well, how do we do this now? All right, let's look at it for a little moment. Okay, if we look closer now, first thing we'll have to do is to find in the income statement, we're going to subtract return inwards, our sales return from the sales. We got to get the net sales. And when we do that, we subtract it, we'll get 82,298. Then we are also now going to work out the information relation to the cost of goods sold. All right, so our opening inventory, which is 9,850. We add the purchases of 52,640, which gives us 62,490. We subtract the purchases return in the question, and we also subtract the inventory, closing inventory, and our answer, the cost of goods sold, is 50,650, right? So if we examine the question, then the question asks us, what is the gross profit? We will subtract this 50,650 from the 82,298. And our answer then would be B, 31,000. 31,646. Question 25. The working capital of A. Young and Sons is 15,500. The total amount of current asset is 16,500. What is the total amount of the current liability? All right, now how do we find working capital? We subtract the total current liability is taken from the total current asset, right? So if we know the working capital and we know the current asset, we can now subtract the working capital from the total current asset, and our answer will give us, which is the total current asset, which is 1,000. The answer is A, 1,000. Let's now go to question 26. Question 26 says, a company has a current ratio of 3 to 1. All right, and they say that the current liabilities are creditors 10,000 and accruals 5,000. Now we're asked, what is the working capital? What is the working capital amount? All right, so this formula, current ratio, is equal to what now? Total current asset divided by total current liability, right? Total current asset divided by total current liability. So this is the formula. Current asset divided by current liability. And it's equal to 3. 3, all right? So when we transpose the formula, total current asset divided by the total current liability will be 15,000 is equal to 3. When we move the 15 over to the side of where the 3 is, it's going to be multiplication, so we multiply by 3. When we multiply by 3, our answer, yes, would be, when we take the 15,000 and we multiply by 3, what would be our answer? And so then, if you have worked it, you will realize it is C. The answer is C, right? The answer is C, $45,000. When we multiply 15 by 3, it is 45. So it is $45,000. That's the answer for question 26. Let's go to question 27. Question 27 says, what is the working capital of Sheridas Limited? They have given us this statement, the balance sheet taken from the books of Sheridas Limited, 30th of April 2012. All right, and they want to know what is the working capital. So what we'll do is identify all the assets and then all the liabilities and subtract the liabilities from the assets. So what are the assets in this question? The first asset we're identifying is cash and prepaid insurance. So we'll add the 300 with the 3,500, and that will give us 3,800. We subtract it from the rent owing and the bank overdraft, which is bank overdraft and the creditors figure. All right, and our answer will be 2,000. That is A. Yeah, so A is the appropriate answer, 2,000. Let's go to question 28. Question 28 says, on the 1st of January, what happens? Yes, 2012, 10,000 was paid towards an advertising campaign. Of this amount, 7,000 was used by the 31st of December 2012. Question is, what was the amount of advertising prepaid at year's end? So we want to determine the prepaid portion of the advertising. All right, let's look at it again. On the 1st of January, yes, we paid over $10,000 towards advertising. Of that amount, 7,000 was used up. So 7,000 was used up. Yes, then there's a difference of what? $3,000. So the answer is A. A is the appropriate answer. And so we're at question 29. Depreciation in accounting terms can be defined as, upon examination, we are taking C. The cost of using the fixed asset for an accounting period. So that is C, right? Most appropriate answer there. Question 30. Question 30 says, the annual rent of a business is $6,000. Yes, the business paid $5,000 during the present year and recorded $5,000 in its income statement. What accounting concept was breached? And our answer is D, the accruals concept. Why? Because the accruals concept says we must take into account, yes, all accruals, all the accruals or the owings that takes place, all the expenses that take place, yes, in the particular year that it incurs. We must always take into consideration all the expenses that takes place in the year that it is incurred, right? Good. So this is the accruals concept. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, as we have just finished the first half of this paper 2015. I'll see you on the other side when we continue the second half looking at the past paper. If you like this video, please click this like and share button, as well as click that subscribe button and the bell so that you will see when we are posting any other new lesson. Thank you.